out at everybody, while these all potentially more interesting...
Did you enjoy your dinner tonight? Yes. Good. All right. For those of you who have not been here before, so that you shouldn't worry during the show, dessert is served at intermission. Okay. That's when it's coming. Now, next. The next show, which comes up very quickly, next month, February 7th, is called Spoon River Anthology. You will see a little blurb about it here in your program if you'd like to read it while you're here tonight. It's the portrait of some 80-odd characters from a small town some time ago, and they're going to come back from the grave to tell you a little bit about their lives. Some of them are very amusing, some are not. They're all very, very interesting. So I think you'll enjoy it. The whole show is laced with folk songs. So it's a lovely, lovely evening with music. We'd like to see you all back again at that time. Next, there is no smoking during the performance, please. You may smoke during intermission. We'd appreciate it very much. The actors and actresses in this show are at the back of the auditorium when the show is finished. If you'd like to stop by and say hello, feel free to do so. Last of all, we are still a semi-professional, non-profit theater in downtown Flint. We've had some lovely, lovely crowds, and many times at this portion of the show, I ask people to tell their friends about us. It's obvious that a lot of people have done their job and they've gone home and told their friends because we keep having more and more new people. We appreciate that very much. This is the last weekend for painting churches. Tomorrow is closing. There are still tickets for this show. If you have anyone who might like to see it yet and hasn't been able to get here, please tell them about tomorrow. They need to call for reservations. Now, if you've been here before, and many of you have, you all remember the time when there were more people on stage than there were in the audience. Our crowds have been wonderful. The fact remains, we ran a survey last year, and we found out that 96% of the people in Flint still don't know who we are. So, you can be of great help to us. If you enjoy this show tonight, please tell your friends about it. Thank you very much.
forgotten how handsome Mama's old silver was. It ought to be worth a fortune. Certainly weighs enough. Gardener! Out, Gardener! Grandma's Paul Revere teaspoons. Oh, God, I don't care how desperate things get. These will never go. One must maintain some standards. Grandma's Paul Revere teaspoons. Catuit. Wasn't it the American wing of the Metropolitan Museum of Art that wanted Grandma's Paul Revere teaspoons so badly? Oh, this is a good-looking hat. I was awfully smart to grab it up. Don't you remember a very distinguished-looking man coming to the house and offering us $50,000 for Grandma's Paul Revere teaspoons? He had on the most marvelous shoes. They were so pointed at the ends, we couldn't tell how he ever got them on. And I remember him saying he was from the American wing of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Gardner, hello, you! Are you there? Gardner! Yes, dear? Is that you? Well, of course it's me. Who else could it possibly be? Darling, please come here a minute. And for God's sake, will you stop that dreadful typing before you send me right straight to the nut house? Gardner! What's that? I said in the nut house. Oh, Lord, I hate this yelling. It's a wonder I left the nut house already. I didn't hear Ray. I'd be awfully nice for a change. Peaceful. Darling, please come here. I want to show you my new hat.
Oh, don't you look nice? Very attractive, very attractive.
But I'm still in my bathrobe.
Where's Meg?
Darling, you're dropping your papers all over the floor.
I remember that. Aunt Alice gave it to us, didn't she? Good Lord, it's heavy. What's it made of, lead?
Aunt Alice did not give that to us. It was Mama's.
Oh, yes.
May I have it back, please?
Oh, sure thing. Where's Megs? I thought you said she was here.
Oh, I didn't say Madge was here. I asked you to come here.
Damn papers keep falling.
I wanted to show you my new hat. I bought it in honor of Mag's visit. Isn't it marvelous?
Yes, very nice, very nice.
Oh, Gardner, you're not even looking at it.
Very becoming.
You don't think it's too bright to you. I don't want to look like a traffic light. Guess how much it costs?
Oh, shit!
Here, let me help you. Gardner. Here you are. You sure are. Really.
Damn things must have wings on them. They won't hold still.
Here. Now, there you are. There. Now, guard. Darling.
What?
Yes, how much my hat costs?
Oh, $10.
$10. Is that all?
20?
I'll have you know this is a designer hat. Designer hats start at $50, $75.
Wasn't that the doorbell?
No, it wasn't the doorbell. Though it's high time Mags was here. She was probably in a train
Get
wreck.
fond of Wallace Stevens again. The mules that angels ride them slowly down the blazing passes from beyond the sun. Dissensions of their twinkling bells behind. These muleteers are dainty of their way. Don't you love that? These muleteers are dainty of their way.
Gardner. Darling.
What?
The hat.
Oh,
How much?
$50, $75.
It's French.
$300.
No. 85 cents.
85 cents? I thought you
That's
said it
right.
was a design.
85 cents.
Well, you certainly have me fooled.
I found it at the thrift shop.
Well, I'd have thought it cost at least $50, $75. You know, designer hats are very expensive.
Well, I found it on the markdown table. Look at that. Lily Dachet. When I saw that label, I almost keeled right over into the fur coat.
Well, what do you know? That's the same label that's in my bathrobe.
Oh, Gardner, Lily Dachet was a hat
Yeah,
designer, not
Lily
a designer
Dachet,
men's
same
bathrobe.
label.
I'm sure if you look again, you'll see.
Same size, same strip, same color. I'll show you.
Poor lad can't keep anything straight anymore. Oh, this is a good-looking hat.
See that? What does it say?
Lily Deshay was a hat designer. She designed ladies' hats.
What does it say?
Gardner, you're being ridiculous.
Read the label.
I don't care what the label says. Lily Deshay did not design that bathrobe.
Read. All right. Now, what does it say?
Lily Deshay.
I told you so.
Here, let me see that again. Gardner, Lily Deshay never designed a bathrobe in her life. Somebody obviously ripped the label out of one of her hats and put it in that robe.
Well, it's damn good looking. I've always loved this robe. You know, I think you gave it to me. Well, I better get back to work.
Where did you get that robe anyway? I didn't give it to you, did I? No, I think I did give it to you. I remember how excited I was when I found it at the thrift shop. 50 cents and never worn. I couldn't have sewed that label in to impress him, could I? I can't be that far gone. Besides, the poor lamb would never even notice, let alone understand its cachet. Oh, this tray is heavy. It's even heavier than a coffee pot. They must have been Amazons in the old days. Empire Tray, Park Bernay Galleries, and good riddance. Oh, where is that Rachel Banks? She should have been here hours ago. It would be just like her to be in a train wreck. Well, if she doesn't show up pretty soon, I'm going to just drop dead of exhaustion. God, wouldn't that be wonderful? Then they could just cart me off into storage with all the old chandeliers in China. Oh, that must be Max. I'm still in my bathrobe. Coming! Max, she's here.
I'll get it. Coming!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm so late. Everything went wrong. The passenger had a heart attack outside of New London and we had to stop. God, it was terrifying. All these medics and policemen came swarming onto the train and the passenger, oh no, God, the conductor kept running up and down the aisle telling everyone not to leave their seats under any circumstances. Then the New London Fire Department came screeching down to the tracks, sirens blaring, lights swirling, and all these men in black rubber suits came pouring through the doors. God, that took 2 hours.
Darling, where are you?
And I couldn't get a cab at the station, you know, there just weren't any. I mean, I must have circled the block 15 times. Finally, I just stepped out into the traffic with my thumb out. No one would pick me up. So
You
I
walked?
walked.
You walked all the way from
No,
South Station?
actually, I ran.
That poor bum scared half to death.
I'm really sorry. God, it was a nightmare.
Darling, you help me with this. This is
Daddy!
My Meg.
Oh, I never thought I'd get her. God, you look wonderful.
You don't look so bad yourself.
Oh, I love your hair. It's gotten so white.
This is so typical. The minute Max arrives, my zipper has to
Hi,
break.
Mom.
Just a
Why
minute,
don't you sit down and take a load off your
I
feet?
was so afraid I would never make it.
Good Lord, what have you got in here? Lead weight?
I believe you are finally letting me do you.
Oh, Max, my precious darling, you're here at last.
God.
Oh, I was just so sure you'd been in a train wreck and were lying dead.
Come on, Daddy, let me eat. They're much too heavy.
Oh, my God, what have you done to your hair?
Come on, take them to me.
Oh, not again. Darling, what's
I've
been
been crazy all week. Monday I forgot to keep an appointment I'd made with the model. Tuesday I overslept and I stood up my advanced painting students. Wednesday, the day of my meeting with Max Zoe, I forgot to put on my underpants.
Damn it, Gar, use a little muscle.
There I am, racing down Broome Street in this gauzy Tibetan skirt when I tripped and fell right at his feet. Splat! The skirt goes flying over my head, and there I am, everything. I'm staring him right in the face. Oh, well, all the evidence that I finally got here.
Oh, forget it.
There you are! Oh, God.
Trolley's probably missing half his teeth, just like somebody else I know.
Oh.
I grind my teeth in my sleep now. I've got them worn right down to the stumps. Nothing left but the gums. Look at this.
I don't hear you grind your teeth.
Well, that's because I'm snoring so loud. Who could hear anything through all that racket? It even wakes me up. It's no wonder Daddy has to sleep downstairs.
Jeez, look at this place. So you're finally doing it. Selling the house and moving to Patuit year-round. God, I'm believe it. I just don't believe it.
So how about a little drink to celebrate Meg's
You've been
arrival?
here so long. Why move now?
Darling, why are you wearing that
You
bathrobe?
can't move. I won't let you.
You really ought to pay more attention to your appearance.
You love this house. I love this house. This room is good. Light.
Meg, how about a little to wet your whistle?
We can't start drinking now. It isn't even noon yet.
No, listen, I'm starving. I gotta get something to eat before I collapse.
Darling, what did you do to your hair? The color is all clear and all your nice curl is gone.
Looks to me as if she dyed it.
You know, you're right. It's an absolutely different color. She dyed it bright red. Meg, I don't want you filling up on snacks. I made a perfectly beautiful leg of lamb for lunch. You hear me? You! No one in our family has ever had red hair. It's so common looking.
I like it. It brings out her eyes.
Why on earth did you dye your hair bright
I
red?
didn't dye my hair bright red. I just added some highlight.
Suppose that's what all your artsy friends in New York do. They dye their hair all colors of the rainbow.
Well, it's damned attractive, if you ask me. Damned attractive.
Oh, what is all of this? I asked you not to bring a lot of stuff up here. I'm trying to get rid of things, Meg.
beauty. I bought it just for you.
And you're getting crumbs all over the floor. Yesterday was like Crystal's last time.
I can hardly wait. I cannot believe you are finally letting me do you.
What do you mean, do us?
Meg, could I have some of those?
Oh, sure. Here. Your portrait.
You're planning on painting your portrait now while we're trying to move?
No, it's a perfect opportunity. There'll be no distractions.
Yeah, I forgot
You'll be
to calculate
completely at
the
my mercy.
talking time.
Also, you promised.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Well, I must have been off my rocker.
No, you said you can paint us. You can dip us in concrete. You can do anything you want with us, just as long as you help us get out of here.
Sam, you really ought to try some of you.
I
Absolutely
figure that we'll
delicious.
pack in the morning and we'll pose in the afternoons. It'll be a nice diversion.
You are good.
Go ahead, have some more.
Hey, listen, I have some wonderful news. Oh, God, it's amazing news, really. You'll die. Oh, you will just fall over into the packing cartons and die. Are you ready? Okay. Here goes. Brace yourselves. Okay. I am being given a one-woman show at one of the most important galleries in New York this fall. Me, Margaret Church, exhibited at Castelli, 420 West Broadway. Can you believe it? I mean, my portraits hanging in the same rooms that have shown Rauschenberg, John Warhol, Kelly Lichtenstein, Sarah Alba. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it's beyond belief. I mean, at my age, you know how good you have to be to get in there? It's a miracle, you know, an honest to God, star-spangled miracle.
Well, no one deserves it more, really. No one deserves it more.
Some utter fluke, some of Castelli's people showed up at our last faculty show at Pratt, and they were knocked out. God, they said that they hadn't seen anyone handle light like me since the French Impressionists, and they said that I was this weird blend of Pierre Bonnard, Mary Cassatt, David
Those they were
Hockney.
good.
Oh, also, no one's doing portraits these days. They're considered passé, you know, so I'm so out of it, I'm in.
Well, you're loaded with talent. And always have been.
Well, she gets it all from Mama, you know. Her miniature of Henry James is still one of the main attractions at the Athenaeum. Of course, no woman of breeding could have been a professional artist in her day. It simply wasn't done. But you talk about talent, that woman had talent to burn.
I want to do one of it before the show.
Oh, I think you should do Daddy. He's the famous one.
No, I want to do you both. I've always wanted to do you both. Now I finally got a good excuse.
Well, it's about time somebody painted Daddy again. I'm sick to death of that dreadful portrait of him at the National Museum they keep reproducing. He looks like an undertaker.
Well, I think you should just do Mom. She's never looked handsomer.
Oh, come on. I'm a perfect fright and you know it.
I want to do you both, side by side, in this room. You know, something really classy. I mean, God, you both look so great. Mom with her crazy hat and everything, and you with the face. I
could just get you to hold still long enough to actually pose.
You seen those papers I had before?
I have a feeling.
God damn it, Fanny, I can't hang on to anything around here anymore.
I've always wanted to paint, you know, it would be such a challenge.
Oh, Max, I'm so glad you're here at last. I'm very worried about Daddy.
Mommy, please, I just got here.
He's getting quite gaga.
Honey.
Look, you haven't seen him almost years. 2 weeks ago, he walked into the front door of the Codman's house, kissed Emily on the cheek, and settled down in the maid's room thinking he was home.
Come on, you're exaggerating.
No, he's mad as a pattern, getting worse every day. It's this damn new book of his. He works on it round the clock. And, you know, I've read parts of it, and it doesn't make one word of sense. It's all in 6s and 7s.
There they are.
You know, ever since this dry spell with his poetry, he has been frantic, absolutely frantic.
I hate it when you do this.
I'm just trying to get you to face facts around here, man.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's just the same as the next man. He's a saner, if you ask me.
You know what he's doing now? You wouldn't guess in a million years. He's writing criticism. Daddy? The man doesn't have one analytic bone in his body. His mind is a complete jumble and always has been.
Yeah.
He's abstracted. Just the way he is.
Well, he doesn't spend any time with me anymore. He just holes up in that filthy study with Toots. God, I hate that bird. No, actually, they're quite cunning together. Daddy's teaching him Gray's Elegy. You should see them in there. Toots perched on Daddy's head, spouting out verse after verse. Daddy tapping away at the typewriter. They're quite a pair.
Have you seen that Stevens poem I was reading before?
No, I haven't seen that Stevens poem you were reading before. Things are getting very tight around here, in case you hadn't noticed. Daddy's last Pulitzer didn't even cover the real estate taxes, and now that he's too donnery to do readings, that income is gone. Oh, Mags, do take this sugar bowl. You can use it to serve tea to your students at that wretched art school of yours.
It's called Pratt, the Pratt Institute.
Pratt, Platt, whatever.
I don't serve
I'm
tea
sure-
to my art students. I teach them how to paint.
Well, I'm sure none of them has ever seen a sugar bowl as handsome as this one.
Are you sure you haven't seen it?
Yes, I'm sure I haven't seen it. I just told you I haven't seen it.
Right you are.
God.
What do you have to yell at him like that for?
Because he's deaf as an adder. Oh, Mags, come here. I want to show you something.
What is it?
Something I made. Come here.
Ooh.
Oh, no, don't turn it on yet. It's got to be dark in here to get the full effect.
What are you doing?
Well, hold your horses a minute. You'll see. Oh, poor me. You wouldn't believe the lengths I go to amuse myself these days.
This is, it's like a sheet of some sort.
Well, it's a sort of invention of mine, a kind of magic lantern.
It's amazing.
Well, what I did was get these old etchings of the Grand Canal, and then I colored them in with crayons. Then I took my sewing scissors and I cut out all the little windows and street lamps, anything that would let light shine through, you know. Then I pasted it on this plain lampshade, put the lampshade on this old horror of a lamp, and then turn on the switch and voila! Venice twinkling at dusk. It's quite effective, don't you think? And then I took a straight pin and I poked out all the little lights
Where
on the
on earth
gondola.
did you get this idea?
Oh, you know, idle minds.
There it is. Mommy, this
It was right on top of my desk all the... Oh, damn it, I hit my...
Oh, darling, look out. Watch where you're going. Watch where you're going. Are you all right?
Yes,
I was just showing Mags my map.
Oh, yes, isn't that something? Mom is very creative about things like that. It was all her idea, the whole thing. Buying the engraving, coloring it in, cutting out all those little dots.
Not dots, darling. Lights and windows. Lights and windows.
Right. Lights and windows.
Well, we better get some light back in here before somebody breaks their neck.
Gee, it's good to have you back, May.
It's good to be here.
And I like that new red hair of yours. It's very becoming.
I told you, I hardly even touched it.
Well, something's different. You've got a glow.
So, how do you want us to pose for this grand portrait of yours?
Daddy, setting up a portrait takes a lot of time and thought. You know, you've got to figure out the background and the lights, what to wear, the kind of mood you want to create. You know, stuff to think about. Really.
I know, Gar. I know. Let's dress up. Let's dress up. Come on. She's right. This is going to be fun. Come on, look distinguished.
Look at me. This is not a game.
You still have your tuxedo, don't you? Oh, wonderful. And I'll wear my long dress that makes me look like that fascinating woman in the Sergeant.
Mommy!
Oh, sorry, darling.
That's
Look,
right.
okay.
You're the boss.
Yes, you're the boss. Just tell us what you want us to do.
I'm not ready yet. I haven't set anything up.
Well, relax, darling. We just want to get the hang of it.
How am I doing, Dan?
Brilliantly. Just brilliant.
But you're making faces.
I'm not making faces. Are you making faces, Gardner?
Absolutely not. I'm a picture of restraint.
You are completely impossible. Look at you. Look at you. Perfect. Oh, my God, this is perfect.
Oh, look at these old horrors. Oh, have the rubbers rotting away and the fasteners are falling off. Oh. Gardner! Oh, Gardner!
When have you ever seen such a color?
I found your old sledding galoshes among the pots and pans. You still want them?
Looks like something out of a ruse.
Oh, God, these bring back memories. We used to have real snowstorms in the old days. Not these pathetic little 2-inch droppings we have now. After a particularly heavy one, Daddy and I used to go sledding on the common. God, that was way back before you were born. It was 100 years ago. Daddy would stop work early and he'd put on these galoshes and come looking for me, jingling the fasteners like castanets. It was a kind of a mating call almost. The common was always deserted after a storm. We had the whole place to ourselves. It was so romantic. We'd haul the sled up Beacon Street, stop under the State House, and aim it straight down to the Park Street Church. It was much farther away in those days. And then Daddy would lie down on the sled, and I'd lower myself on top of him, and we would rock back and forth a few times to gain momentum, and then swoosh down we plunged like a pair of eagles locked in a spasm of lovemaking. God, it was wonderful. The cold, the dark, the city whizzing past at 90 miles an hour, Daddy's hair in my mouth. Ooh, Gardner! Remember how we used to go sledding in the old days? Sometimes Daddy would lie down on top of me. That was fun. I liked that even better. Gardner!
Didn't he say he was going out this afternoon?
Oh, so he did. I've completely forgotten. I'm getting as bad as he is. Oh, dear. Gar's galoshes. Katuit.
Isn't this fabulous? Kind of a perfect backdrop. Look what it does to your skin. It makes you glow like a pomegranate. Now, all I gotta do is find a hammer and some nails. Yeah! Oh, God, this is gonna look so great. Have you ever seen such a color? Oh, Rembrandt, eat your heart out. The 17th century Dutch has been you!
Very nice, Meg. Very nice indeed.
Where have you been?
Oh, you'll never guess who I ran into on Chestnut Street. Kate Baldwin.
Daddy, I'm not ready for you yet.
Darling, coats do not go on the floor.
He was in terrible shape. I hardly recognized him. Well, it's the Parkinson's disease.
You mean Hodgkin's disease?
Hodgkin's disease?
Yes, Pete has Hodgkin's disease, not Parkinson's disease. Sammy Bishop has Parkinson's disease. In the closet. Your coat goes in the closet.
You're absolutely right. Kate has Hodgkin's disease.
And Sammy, look here, has Addison's disease.
Oh,
Here, go.
but I always get them confused.
So do I, that way. That way. Oh, and Grace Phelps has it too, I think, unless she has Hodgkin's, like Pete. I can't remember.
Doesn't the goat have Parkinson's disease?
No, that's Pete Baldwin.
Oh, God. I haven't seen the goat in ages.
Well, he hasn't been well.
Didn't Happy die?
What are you giving me this for? Oh, yes, Happy's been dead for years. Don't you remember? She died the same day as Luster Bright.
I always liked her.
Here, I don't want this.
She was awfully attractive.
Who?
Happy.
Oh, yes, Happy had real charm.
Which is something the goat is short on, if you ask me. He has Hodgkin's disease, doesn't he?
Gardner, what are you doing? I thought you wanted to hang your coat up.
Oh, that's right. That's right, thank you.
Now, where were we?
Let's see now.
Oh, Gar, for God's sake, pay attention.
What was something about the goat?
Here, let me do it.
It'll work.
You don't know the half of it. Not the half.
Most.
Oh, Dan, did I tell you I ran into Pete Baldwin this afternoon? I don't think he's long for this world.
Well, it's the Hodgkin's disease.
God, I hate to see anything happen to him. He's one of the great editors of our time. I couldn't have done it without him. He gave me everything, everything.
Yeah. That is it. Oh, wonderful.
Isn't it, going to be cocktail time.
On the button, on the button.
I'll have the usual, please, dear. Blanche, won't you have some Dubonnet? Daddy bought it especially for you.
Hey, listen, I was just getting some ideas.
Hey, May, how about a little Dubonnet to wet your whistle?
Gosh, it's wonderful having you back with us like this, Max. It's like old times. The usual for you, Fan. I wish we saw more of you. Please! Isn't Daddy darling? How about you, Mag? A little Dubonnet?
No, nothing,
Did
thank
you
you.
ever know anyone as darling as Daddy? Well, what do you think of your aged parents picking up and moving to Katuitt year-round? Pretty crazy, eh, what? Just the oysters, the seagulls, and us. Oh, thank you, darling. You sure you won't join us, Max?
Cheers. Oh, it's the spot. It's the spot.
Oh. Well, I certainly can't do you like that.
I don't know why not. I think we look very comfortable. Oh, wait. This is it.
Let me start this again.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. All right, let's give it a try.
How's this?
And I wonder why it's taken all these years to get you to pose for me. You know, you just don't take me seriously. Poor old Meg and her ridiculous portrait.
Oh, darling, your portraits are ridiculous. They might not be all one pose for, but...
Do you remember how you behaved at my first group show in Soho? Oh, God, come on. It was a real circus. Think that. It was about 6 years ago. And Daddy had just been awarded some Presidential Medal of Achievement, and you insisted that he wear it around his neck on this bright red ribbon. And you wore this huge feathered hat to match. God, I'll never forget it. It was the size of a giant pizza with 20-inch red turkey feathers shooting straight up into the air. Oh, come on, you remember.
Hold everything! Oh, excuse me, darling, but this is really it. Now, please excuse me.
I think I had about 8 portraits in the show, mostly friends of mine, except for this old one, which I had done up to Mrs. Crown and
Give it a whirl.
The Pietà.
We're getting good at this.
Well, it didn't help if we didn't have all these modern clothes on.
And I was sorry, darling.
And
Go on.
the second you spotted it, the second you went to the gallery, you spotted it, and you cried out, "My God, what Millicent Crowenshield doing here?" Everyone looked up. Well, what with Daddy's clanking metal and your amazing hat, which I was sure would take off and start flying down the room. A crowd just gathered. Through some utter fluke, you latched onto the most important art critic in the city. I mean, Mr. Modern Art himself. And you hauled him over to the painting, trumpeting out for all to hear, "That's Millicent Crowenshield." I grew up with her, you know, she lives right down the street from us in Boston. But it's a very poor likeness of her, if you ask me. I mean, her nose isn't nearly that large, and she doesn't have something queer growing out of her chin. Now, the Crowenshields are really very good-looking people. They're stuffy, but they're good-looking.
Wait. Hold it! If it's Michelangelo, you want it.
I'm sorry, Meg. Please, just one more, please.
Oh, sure, why not? You might.
Prepare yourself, Patty.
Oh, fantastic. You are a genius, an absolute genius. But I think you should be God.
Me? Really?
Oh, this is much more apropos.
Well, if you say so.
was saying,
Do go on.
I was saying, so there we were, huddled around Milford crowded shield, when you suddenly whipped into your pocketbook and announced for all to hear, hold everything! I've got a photograph of her right here, then you can see what she really looks like. You then proceeded to crouch down to the floor and dump everything out of your bag. I mean everything. Leaking packets of sequins and gum stars, crochet hooks, seashells, odd pieces of fur, a monarch butterfly embedded in plastic. Dental floss, small glass buttons, small antique jingling bells, lace, you thought it would die. Just sink to the floor and quickly die. You couldn't find it. You couldn't find it. I mean, you spent the rest of the afternoon crawling around on your hands and knees through this ocean of junk, muttering, I know it's got to be here somewhere. I had it with me when it came in. Then Daddy pulled me into the thick of it. He said, oh, by the way, have you met our daughter Mags yet? Oh, she's the one who did all these pictures. Paintings, portraits, whatever you call them. And then Monkey, by this time, had somehow managed to crawl out of the gallery and was lost somewhere on another floor. But she called out for me, Yo-ho, Meg! Where are you? Oh, Meg, darling! Hello! Are you there? This was at my first show.
Gruesome old thing.
God, you remember these shoes? Pound gave them to me when he came back from Italy. I remember it vividly.
Let it go.
He bought them in Rome. Said he couldn't resist. Bought himself a pair at the same time because we both wore the same size. God, I miss him. Hey, that's my overcoat you got there.
Well, darling, it's threadbare.
But that's my overcoat. I've worn that every day for the last 35 years.
Well, that's just my point. It's had it.
There's nothing wrong with this coat.
Darling, I trust you remember we're moving to a cottage 1/8 the size of this place. There won't be room for half of your junk. This gruesome old jacket, for instance, you've had this since Hector was a pup.
Oh, no, you don't.
Gardner, really? Look at this god-awful hat.
Let me see it.
Jesus Christ, I just shot.
See if you can do it again. See if you can do it again.
What are you
Is there
doing?
any
I
blood?
was just taking a picture of
I
my
see
eye.
lace
It's
everywhere.
Polaroid at this stage.
Damn this thing. I see lace everywhere.
So do
Actually, it looks like you're wearing a veil.
I am wearing a
Here comes the picture. Here comes your photo. Let's see. Right, yes.
Let's have a look.
Oh, wait. Is it kind of slowly developed there? Do you think that looks
Oh,
hot?
stop it like that.
What are you trying to do? Blind us?
No.
Are you still there, darling?
Right as rain, right as rain.
Oh, please. I didn't mean to scare you. It's just that a photograph can show you things that you weren't aware of. Here. Have a look. Be careful, touch. Well, I'm going out to the kitchen to get something to eat. Anybody want anything?
Have you ever?
Good grief.
Oh. Hey, is it all right if I take the rest of the tapioca from last night?
It's all right with me. How about you, God?
Oh, go right ahead. I've never been that crazy about tapioca.
What are you talking about? It's like one of your favorites. What's that one? Margaret, I have never seen anyone eat as much as you do.
You know, it's strange. I only do this when I come home.
Don't I feed you enough?
God, it's hot in here.
Margaret, what are you doing?
Taking off some of these clothes. It's hotter than toffet in here.
Yes, but we're looking at each other like
Well,
that.
you watch where you're dropping things. I'm trying to keep some order around here.
Right.
Now all I have to do is figure out what you should wear.
Well, I'm going to wear my long dress. And you'd be a fool not to do Daddy in his tuxedo. He looks so distinguished in it, just like a banker.
I haven't really decided yet.
Well, just because you go around looking like something the cat dragged in doesn't mean Daddy and I want to. Do we, Gar? Darling?
Oh, very becoming, very becoming.
Well, if you don't mind me saying so, Mags, I've never seen you looking so forlorn. You will never catch a husband looking like that. Those peculiar clothes, that god-awful hair. Really,
I don't think my hair's so bad. I mean, it's not ripped.
Well, I don't see other girls walking around like you. I mean, girls from your background. I mean, what would Lyman Wigglesworth think?
Lyman Wigglesworth!
All right, that brilliant Cabot boy. What is his name?
Oh, God. Daddy, what's Cabot's name?
Oh, Sammy.
No.
No, Stephen. Oh, for God's sake.
Stephen. Stuart.
No,
Sydney. Sheldon. Sherlock. It's Sherlock. That's it. Ben Cabot.
Spence Cabot was first in his class at Harvard.
Mommy has no facial hair.
Spence Cabot has his own law firm on Arlington Street.
Spence Cabot has 6 fingers on his right hand.
Well, so he isn't the best looking thing in the world. Looks aren't everything. Have a little pity. He can't help it if he has extra
Oh,
fingers.
the extra one has this weird nail on it that looks like a talon. It's long and black and...
Nobody's perfect, darling. He has beautiful handwriting and an absolutely saintly mother. Besides, he's rich as creases. He's a lot more promising than some of those creatures you dragged home. What was the name of that dreadful Frenchman who smelled like sweaty socks? Jean Duke of Scripto.
No, Jean-Luc Zacot.
And that peculiar little Oriental fellow with all the teeth. Really, he could have been put on display in the circus. Yeah.
Zuchin. He was strange, but very sexy.
Oh, but he had such tiny feet. Now, really, darling, you've got to bear down. You're not getting any younger, you know. Before you know it, all the nice young men will be taken, and then where will you be? All by yourself in that grim little apartment with those peculiar clothes and that bright red... My hair is not bright red! But I only want what's best for you, darling. You know that. You seem to go out of your way to look wanted. I just don't understand it. Oh, Gardner, what are you? Gardner, we don't wear coats in that house. You look like some derelict out in the street. Here, I'll just take that and put it over here in the box with all the rest of these things. Now, isn't it just about cocktail time?
What? Right you are. Right you are. The usual for you, Fan?
Please.
How about you, Mag, the little Duvernay?
Oh, sure, why not?
Let her rip! Benet.
That's what she just said. She likes him to Renee.
Listen, me love. Dear, great having you back like this, man. This jump great.
But really, darling, you have such potential. It just breaks my heart to see you let yourself go like this. Truly, if Lyman Wigglesworth should see you on the street...
Amazing as it may seem, I don't care about Lyman Wigglesworth.
From what I've heard, he's quite a lady killer.
But with whom? Now, don't think that I haven't heard about his little fling with Opie Stonewall.
Let's not get started with Opie Stonewall again. 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall with spots on her neck. Darling, hurry back. We're talking about pathetic Opie Stonewall.
It is those tiny pointed teeth and size 11 shoes.
I love it when you like
Wait.
Darling, you're missing everything. Why is it Boston girls are always so tall?
Opie Stonewall isn't a Boston girl. She's a giraffe. She's perfect for Lyman Wigglesworth. You don't have to stop.
Here you go.
Thank you, darling.
Now, where were we?
Opie Stonewall.
Oh, yeah, she's the very tall one.
The only hope for us Boston girls is to stay as far away from our kind as possible.
Oh, well, darling, you know how fond she is of you. She's always asking
Oh, please, I don't want to hear.
All your old friends are always asking after you.
No, it's not so much how creepy they all are, how much they remind me of myself.
Well, darling, you're not creepy, just a little shabby.
No, I mean, just give me a few more inches and a couple of brown splotches here and there, and hoping I could be sisters.
Don't you love it when she's like...
No, I mean, look at me. Awkward, God, I'm plain, I don't know how to talk, I don't know how to dress. I mean, when people find out Daddy's my father, they are always amazed. Gardner Church is your father? Oh, come on, you're kidding. Sometimes I don't even tell them. I pretend I'm from the Midwest somewhere.
Farming people, we work with our hands.
Hey, Meg, how about a refill?
No more, thank you.
Why did you have to go and interrupt her for? She was just getting up ahead of steam.
You know, the great thing about being a portrait painter, you see, is it's the other guy that's exposed. You're safely hidden behind the canvas and the easel. You can be as plain as a pitchfork, as inarticulate as mud, and it doesn't matter because you're completely concealed. Your body, your face, your intentions. Just as you make your most intimate room, throw open your soul. They stretch and yawn, remembering the dog has to be let out at 5. To be so invisible, I'm so enthralled. It takes your breath away.
Well put, Mags. Awfully well put.
That's why I've always wanted to paint you, to see if I'm up to it. It's quite a risk. Remember what I went through as a child with my great masterpiece.
You painted a masterpiece as a child?
Oh, it was a masterpiece to me.
I don't remember you being precocious as a child. Do you remember her painting a masterpiece?
I didn't paint it. It was something I'd made.
Well, this is all news to me. Darling, why don't you get me another drink? I haven't had such fun in years. Come on, darling, join me.
No more thanks. I don't really like the taste.
Oh, come on. Kick up your heels for a change.
No, nothing really.
Oh, please. Pretty please, just to keep me company.
All right, what the hell?
Coming right up. Coming right up.
Don't give me too much now. The last one was awfully strong. And hurry back so you don't miss anything. Isn't Daddy cunning? Oh, I don't know what I would do if anything should happen to him.
Mommy, nothing's going to happen to him.
Well, you never know. You get to be our age. It's no picnic, you know. Now, where were we?
My first masterpiece.
Oh, yes. But you wait till Daddy gets back so he can hear it. You, Gar, are you coming? Go and check on him, would you, darling?
I couldn't find the ice.
Oh, finally.
It just up and disappeared. Here you are.
Thank you.
Meg,
Thanks, Daddy.
Sorry about the ice.
No problem. Daddy, no problem.
Drink up, Megs. Come on, drink up. Good girl. Good girl. Now, what about this masterpiece?
I did it during that winter you sent me away from the dinner table. I was about 9 years old.
We sent you away from the table.
I was banished for 6 months.
You were? How extraordinary.
Yes, it was rather extraordinary.
What for?
Because I played with my food.
You did?
I used to squirt it out between my front teeth.
Oh, God, I remember that. Oh, it used to drive me crazy, absolutely crazy. Margaret, stop that oozing this instant. You are not a tube of toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
It was perfectly awful.
I remember. She used to lean over her plate and squirt it out in long, runny ribbons. Actually, it was quite colorful. Almost decorative. She made the most intricate designs. They looked like small, moist Oriental rugs.
Why, darling? What on earth possessed you to do that?
I couldn't swallow anything. I don't know, I guess my throat just closed up, you know? I don't know, I guess I was afraid of choking or something.
You know, I remember one time in particular, we had chicken fricassee and spinach. She made the most extraordinary design.
Roger, will you shut up? But, Max, you never choked on anything in your life. What are you talking about? This is really very distressing. This is the most distressing conversation I've ever had. Don't you think it's distressing, Darwin?
Well, that's not quite the word I would use.
Well, what word would you use?
Well, I don't know right off the bat. I'd have to think about it.
Well, then, think about it.
I don't know, I guess I was afraid of making a mess. I don't know, you were awfully strict about table manners. I was always afraid of losing control. I mean, what if I started to choke and began spitting up all over everything?
Oh, that's enough, Mark.
No, you know, I was really terrified about making a mess. I mean, you always got so mad whenever I spilled. I thought if I just got rid of everything in neat little curly cues before...
Oh, I said that's enough.
Oh. I thought it was quite ingenious. But you didn't see it that way. You finally sent me away from the table with, when you're ready to come back and eat like a human being, then you can come back and join us. So I went off to my room with the tray. Oh, I couldn't seem to eat there either. I mean, it was so strange settling down to dinner in my bedroom. So I just flushed everything down the toilet and sat on the bed listening to you. Clinkety clink, clatter, clatter, slurp, slurp. That got pretty boring after a while. So I looked around for something to do. So it was wintertime. Because I noticed that I'd left some of my crayons on top of the radiator and they'd melted down into these beautiful shimmering gobs like spilled jello, just trembling.
This luscious and impeccable fruit of life falls, it appears, of its own weight to earth.
Well, naturally, I wanted to try it myself. So I grabbed up a red one and I pressed it down against the hissing lid. It bubbled and oozed like raspberry jam.
When you were Eve, its acrid juice was sweet, untasted, in its heavenly orchard air.
I mean, that radiator was really hot. It took incredible willpower not to let go, but I held on, whispering, Mags, if you let go of this crayon, you'll be run over by a truck on Newberry Street, so help you God. So I pressed down harder, my fingers steaming and blistering.
I wasn't aware of any of this. Were you, Gardner?
Once I'd melted one, I was hooked. I finished off my entire supply in one night, mixing color over color until my head swam. The heat, the smell, the brilliance that sank and rose. God, I had never felt such exhilaration. Every week I spent my allowance on crayons. I must have cleared out every box of Crayolas in the city.
You know, Mags, I've never seen you looking prettier. You're really quite attractive when you get going.
What a lovely thing to say.
After 3 months, that radiator was spectacular! I mean, it looked like some colossal fruitcake 5 feet tall!
Sounds perfectly hideous.
It was a knockout, shimmering with pinks and blues, lavenders and maroons, turquoise and golds, oranges and cream. For every color I imagined a taste. Yellow, lemon curls dipped in sugar. Red, glazed cherries laced with rum. Green was those tiny peppermint leaves veined with chocolate. Purple!
Margaret.
And then the icing. Oh, the icing was this satiny mixture of white and silver. I kept it hidden under my blankets during the day. My huge, looming, teetering sweet.
I asked you to stop it. Gardner, can't you get her to stop?
Now look,
But
Meg,
I
don't
was
get
so
it.
hungry. I was losing weight every week. I must have looked like a scarecrow, what with the bags under my eyes and these bits of crayon wrapper just leaking out of my clothes. One reason. But finally you came to my rescue. You could call it a rescue. It was really more like a web.
Now look,
The
young lady.
dinner was almost over. It was very late. It was very late. I must have been having a nightmare because suddenly you and Daddy were at my bed just shaking me, shaking me. I quickly glanced over to the radiator to see if it was covered. It wasn't. It shimmered and towered in the moonlight like some gigantic Viennese pastry. You followed my glance and you saw it. What have you got in here, Megs? What have you been up to? You crept forward, and you touched it, and you jumped back. Oh, it's food, she cried. It's all the food she's been spitting out. Oh, Gardner. It is a mountain of rotting garbage. It's coming back. It's coming back. Oh, Daddy exited as usual. He left the premises. He fainted. He just keeled over right onto the floor.
God, I don't remember any of this.
My heart stopped. I mean, I knew it was all over. My lovely creation didn't stand a chance. Sure enough, out came a blowtorch. It couldn't have been a blowtorch. I mean, where would you have ever gotten a hold of a blowtorch? I have this very strong memory of you standing over my bed, your hair streaming around my face, aiming this flamethrower at my confection, my cake, my tart, my strudel. The thing's got to be destroyed immediately. It's practically crawling with vermin. Oh, just look at it. It's practically crawling across the floor. In a sense, you were right. It was a monument to my cast-off dinners, only I hadn't built it with food. I had found my own materials. I was languishing with hunger, but oh, dear mother, I had found my own materials. I tried to stop you, but you wouldn't listen. Out shot the flame! I remember these waves of wax rolling across the floor. And Daddy coming to, wondering what on earth was going on. Well, what did you know about my abilities? You see, I have abilities. I have abilities. I have strong abilities. I have very strong abilities. They are very strong. Very, very strong.
All right, you can look now.
Yeah. Oh, I told you you could trust me on the phone.
Well, thank goodness you let us dress up. It makes all the difference. Now we really look like something.
I'll say.
Went out to the hazelwood, because a fire was in my head. And cut and picked a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream, caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame. But something fluttered on the floor, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossoms in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded in the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, we'll find out where she has gone, and kiss her lips, take her hand, walk among long dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done. The silver apples of the moon, golden apples of the sun.
That was lovely, dear. Just lovely. Is it one of yours?
No, it's Yeats. I'm using it in my book.
Well, you recited it beautifully. But then you've always recited beautifully. That's how you wooed me, in case you forgot. You're Shakespeare, Byron, and Shelley. You were shameless. You must have memorized every love poem in the English language. Shameless.
We'll find out where she has gone. Kiss her lips and take her hand.
And then there was your own poetry to do battle with. Your sonnets and quatrains. When you got going with them, there was nothing left of me. You could have had any girl in Boston. Why you chose me, I'll never know. I was nothing much in the looks department, and certainly no great brain. But then, what did you know about women and the world? What did any of us know? God, Mags, how long do we have to sit like this? It's agony.
You're doing fine, just fine.
Oh, it's so boring.
Mom, don't move.
I had no idea it was so
break in
boring.
a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm rather enjoying it.
You boy.
Stood among a crowd at Drumahair, his heart hung all upon a silken dress, and he had known at last some tenderness before earth made of him his sleepy hair. But when a man poured fish into a pile, it seemed they raised their little silver heads.
Gar, please. Oh, I can't stand this anymore. It's like a Chinese water torture.
No, it's tedious at first, but it gets easier.
Oh, darling, you look marvelous. Just marvelous. Why don't you do just that?
Because you look marvelous, too. I want to do you both.
Oh, I have one foot in the grave and you know it. Besides, we're way behind with our packing. There's one room everyone seems to have forgotten about.
Oh yeah? Which one is that?
You know perfectly well which one it is.
I do?
Yes, you do.
Well, that's news to me.
Well, I'll give you a clue. It's in that direction.
The dining room.
No.
The bedroom.
No.
Night room.
No.
The kitchen.
Gar.
The guest room.
Your god-awful study.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit is right. Books and papers clear up to the ceiling. If you ask me, we ought to just tiptoe away and forget it's there.
My study.
Let the new owners dispose of everything.
Now, just a minute.
Look, darling, remember, we're moving to a cottage the size of a handkerchief. Where will there be room for all your books?
I don't want you touching those books. They're mine.
Well, I don't know what we're messing around with bags like this for, but there's still so much to be done.
Study.
Well, you can stay here if you like, but one of us has got to start on those books.
I'm not up to this.
Oh, good. Good if you're staying.
The lifetime of work in there.
Don't worry, Mom and I will be able to help. We'll pack everything up in no time.
Oh, God.
It won't be so bad.
I'm just not up to it.
I'll get you. Good grief!
I don't know if I can handle this. You know, ever since Mom started tearing the house apart, I've been having these dreams. I'm a child again, back at 16 Lewisburg Square. There's a stream of moving men carrying furniture into the house. Van after van of sofas and love seats, desks and bureaus, sofas and couches, rugs, tubs, mirrors, chiming clocks, pianos, ice boxes, china cabinets. And the amazing thing is, I've seen them all before. No matter how many things appear, they're all familiar. Since my mother is standing in the middle of it directing traffic, I ask her where it's all coming from. But she doesn't hear me because of all the racket. So finally I just shout at her, "Hey, where's all this furniture coming from?" Just as the moving man is carrying toots into the room, she looks at me and says, "Why, from the land of Skye." Well, the next thing I know, they're carrying people along in with them. People I've never seen before are sitting around our dining room table. A group of foreigners going through my books, chattering in a language I've never heard before. A man is playing a Chopin Polonaise on Aunt Alice's piano. Some children are taking baths in our tubs from Couture.
Sounds marvelous.
It's not marvelous at all because all these strangers have taken over all our things. It is odd. Then something even odder happened.
Tell me.
Well, they carry in our beds. They're made up with sheets and everything, but instead of these strange people being in them, we're in them.
What's so odd about that?
Well, you and Mom are brought in, sleeping like angels. Mom is snoring away to beat the band. But there's no one in mine. It's completely empty, never been slept in. It's as if I never existed or were dead. "Hey, that's my bed you've got there," I shout at the moving man. But they don't stop. They don't even acknowledge me. "Hey, come back here. I want to jump into my bed," I yell again, and I run down the hall to the library. And just as I catch up with them and leap, throwing myself in the center of the pillow, the bed suddenly vanishes. I go crashing to the floor like an insect hit by a...
Oh, that's it for me. I'm dead. Oh, come on, Mags. How about doing some work around here?
That's all I've done since I got here. This is the first free moment you've given me.
Oh, but you should see that study. What a mess. There's papers, books. There's enough loose papers to sink a ship.
Why are we moving again?
Because life is getting too complicated here.
Yeah,
And we can't afford it anymore.
right.
We don't have the income we used to have.
Oh yes, income.
Of course, we have our savings and various trust funds, but I wouldn't dream of touching those.
No, you should never dip into capital.
I've always admired people who kill themselves when they get to our stage of life. Well, nobody could match your Uncle Edmund in that department.
I know.
Day before his 70th birthday, he climbed to the top of the Old North Church and threw himself face down into Salem Street. God, they had to scrape him up with a spatula. What a man he was. State senator, president of Harvard.
I guess I better start doing something with all of these.
Come on, Max, why don't you help Daddy start packing his papers? Max? Yoo-hoo! God, look at you, too. Heads in the air, in the clouds, even. You would never know we have to be out of here in 2 days. Come on, Max, wake up! Are you going to pitch in or not?
I don't think I'm up to this.
Well, you're going to have to be unless you want to be left behind.
All right. I hope you give me some more time later on this evening.
Well, since you're young and in the best shape, why don't you start carrying books and I'll cope with the papers?
No, wait a minute.
Need a steam shovel for this.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Look, I don't want you. What's
going on here?
Packing, darling, packing. Come on, Max, let's get cracking.
What is this? This is my manuscript. What are you doing?
Packing your manuscript, Garner.
Now, Lord, you can't manhandle my things like this. I packed my manuscript. I know where everything is.
If it were up to you, we'd never get out of here. We're under a time limit. Gardner Kitty's picking us up in 2 days. 2 days.
Now, hold it right there.
Ow!
I packed my things.
Gardner,
That's my manuscript. Give it to me. Give it to me. Let me have it. It's more like it.
See how he is? I try to help him.
Don't just throw everything into a box like it's a pile of garbage. This is a book, Patty. Something I've been working on for 2 years. Show some respect for my things. It's tough trying to make sense of poetry. It's much easier to write it. That is, if you still have it in you.
Here, I'll help, Daddy.
Criticism is tough sledding. You can't just dash off a few images here and a few rhymes there.
Do you have these pages numbered in any way?
Huh. This is just the introduction.
I don't see any numbers on these.
Well, the important stuff is in the study.
You don't know the half of it, Max. Not the half.
God damn it, Danny, what have you done in there? I can't find anything.
I just took the papers that were on your desk.
Well, the whole beginning is all gone.
I'm only trying to help.
Mommy, what is this? It's just fragments. It's pieces of poems. It doesn't make any sense.
That's it, honey. That's his book. His great critical study. Now that he can't write his own poetry anymore, he's trying to make sense of other people's. The only problem is the poor dear doesn't have the stamina to get beyond typing out the opening stanzas, let alone make any sense of them.
Look, no signs of chapter 1 or chapter 2.
Gardner.
I turn my back for 1 minute and look what happens. My whole study torn apart.
Daddy, come on. Please. Daddy, don't.
Thrown out. Thrown out. The best part, thrown out.
Gardner.
I have known the inexorable sadness of pencils neat in their boxes, the horror of pad and paperweight, all the misery of manila folders and mucilage. They're beautiful, really. They're just beautiful.
What is that you have there?
It's your manuscript, see? It's not lost. It's right here where you left it.
Can you read that again?
I have known the inexorable sadness of pencils neat in their boxes, filler of pad and paperweight, all the misery of manila folders and mucilage.
Well, what do you know?
There, you see? Nothing's lost. Everything is still here, all intact.
I knew a woman, lovely in her thoughts. When small birds sighed, she would sigh back at them. When she moved more ways than one. The shapes of bright containers.
Here. Here's another.
Frost. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire.
Can't let go of the words. It's all he has left. Here, here's some more.
Farm boys, wild to couple with everything. With soft-wooded trees, mounds of earth, mounds of pine straw, will keep themselves off animals by legends of their own.
Of course, no one will ever publish this.
Oh, here's a marvelous one. Listen to this. There came a wind like a bugle. It quivered through the grass. In a green haze upon the heat so ominous it passed. We barred the windows and the doors as from an emerald ghost. The doom's electric moccasin.
Well, shit, where's the rest of it?
Don't ask me.
Well, it just stopped in midair.
Then why don't you go look for the original?
Good idea. Good idea.
He's incontinent now, too, you know? He wets his pants, in case you hadn't noticed. You're not laughing. Don't you think it's funny? Daddy needs diapers. Oh, I don't know about you, but I could use a drink. Gar, as long as you're out there, will you get me a splash?
Stop it!
It means we can't go anywhere anymore. I mean, what would people say?
Will you just stop it?
My poet laureate can't hold it in.
That's enough, I beg of you. Please, don't.
Here it is. I found it.
There, see? He just did it again.
Will you please just shut up?
How about that drink?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, never mind. I'll get it. I'll get it.
Where were we?
Oh,
Yes, the Dickinson. Came a wind like a bugle, quivered through the grass, and a green haze upon the heat, so ominously cast. We barred the windows and the doors as from an emerald ghost. The Doom's electric moccasin. Shit, what is the rest of that? Here it is. The Doom's electric moccasin. Very
how can you laugh at him? It's so cruel. It's so incredibly cruel. I mean, you're disdain really takes my breath away. You are in a class by yourself. When it comes to humiliation.
And yet abides the world. Where was I?
Safe and sound in the middle of the living room with Mags and me.
Yes, but I was looking for something, wasn't I?
Your manuscript.
Oh, yes, my manuscript.
See? Here it is all over the floor. You're standing on it.
Oh, so I am.
Now, all we need to do is get it up off the floor and neatly packed in carton.
Yes, in the carton.
You start here, and I'll start over here. All right? Here we go. Here we go. Bombs away. Hey, this is fun.
Bombs away! Hey, this is fun!
See, I told you, all you need to do is figure out a system.
Oh, Fanny, what would I do without you? I thought I'd lost everything.
Oh.
Bombs away!
Bam, bam, bang! Take that. Take that. Take that. Boom! Bam, 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 boom! Hey! Oh, you got me. Oh, right the gizzard. Oh,
How you help him? This is how you help him pack his things?
oh, I keep him company. I get involved. Which is a hell of a lot more than you can say.
You're making a mockery out of him. You treat him like he's a child or some dimwit and serving boy. He's just an amusement to you.
And to you, who see him once a year, if that, what is he to you? What do you give him of yourself that costs you anything? Oh, my Daddy, it's wonderful to see you. You look great. I love your hair. It's gotten so white. Well, what color do you expect his hair to get when he's this age? If you care so much how he looks, why don't you come and see him once in a while? You know, you have your paintings to do, your shows to put on, and you come and see us when the wind strikes. Oh, gee, you know what would be great? I'd love to paint you. I've always wanted to paint you. You'd be such great stuff. Paint us? How about opening your eyes and really seeing us for a change? Noticing what's going on around here. It's all over, Daddy and me. This is it. Finita? Not come. All I'm trying to do is exit with a little flourish. Have some fun. What's so wrong about that? It can get pretty grim around here, in case you haven't noticed. Daddy tapping out his nonsense all day, and me traipsing around to the thrift shops, trying to amuse myself. I'd put a bullet through my head in a minute. But then who'd look after me? What do you think we're moving to the cottage? So I can watch him like a hawk and make sure he doesn't get hurt. You think that's something to look forward to? Being Daddy's nursemaid out in the middle of nowhere? I'd much rather stay here in Boston with the few friends I have left. But you can't always do what you want in this. L'homme propose, Dieu dispose. If you want to paint us as we really are. Here's your picture. Daddy spread out on the floor with all of his toys. He's hovering over him. He's sure he doesn't. You hold on.
Hi there, Ben. What's up? Packing. Packing?
You're packing your manuscript, remember?
Oh, yes.
Here's your picture, Max. Face over this way. Turn your easel over here. Up. Up. Away.
Toots, this is it. The big moment has arrived, you boy, eh? Oh, hi there, Meg.
Hi, Daddy. I was just taking this down. Oh, Toots, I'll miss you.
Come on, Toots. Recite a little of Gray's elegy for Meg before we go.
Yes, Mom said he was really good at it now.
Well, the thing is you have to keep at it every day. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The lowing herd winds slowly toward the lead. Come on, Toots, old boy, show Meg your stuff. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The lowing herd winds slowly toward the lead. Come on, Toots.
How does it go?
The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The lowing herd winds slowly toward the lead.
The curfew tolls for you and me as quietly as a herd winds down.
No. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day.
The curfew tolls the knell of parting day.
The lowing herd winds slowly toward the lead.
The curfew tolls at parting day. The herd flows slowly down the lead. No, knell, right? Early before I get down the knell.
No, listen. The curfew tolls.
Huh?
Curfew tolls the knell of parting day. Lowing herd winds slowly toward the lead. The crowded forward mass is weary brave that leads the world to darkness and to me.
He said it! He said it! And in your voice, Daddy, that's
Well,
amazing.
Toots is very smart, which is more than I can say for a lot of people I know. Well, you can teach a parakeet to say almost anything. All you need is patience.
Oh, poetry. That's so hard.
There you, I thought you had died. There you are.
He said it! I finally heard Toots recite Gray's elegy. Oh,
Isn't it uncanny how much he sounds like Daddy? Sometimes when I've been here alone with him, I thought it really was Daddy and started talking to him. We've had some very meaty conversations, haven't we, Toots? Oh, God, the place looks so bare.
Yeah, I still don't believe it. Could do it year-round. Hey, do you think there'll be any phosphorus when you get there?
What are you talking about?
Oh, don't you remember that summer when the ocean was full of phosphorus?
Oh, yes.
It was a great mystery where it came from or why it settled into it. But one evening when Daddy and I were taking a swim, suddenly there it was.
I remember.
I don't know where Mom was.
Probably doing the dishes.
Well, as you dove into the water, the shower of silvery green sparks erupted all around you. It was incredible. I thought you were turning into a saint or something. Finally, you told me to jump in too, and the same thing happened to me.
Yes, I remember. And the water smelled all queer.
What is phosphorus, anyway?
Chemicals.
No, it isn't. Phosphorus is that green liquid inside of insects. You know, fireflies have it. When you see those green sparks in the water, it means there are bugs swimming around.
Where did you get that idea?
Well, it's true. And if you're bitten by one, it's fatal.
The next morning, it was still there.
Oh, it was the damnedest stuff to get off. We used to have to stand in the shower a good 10 minutes. Well, it comes from chemical waste, you see.
Our bodies look like mercury as we swam around.
It stained all our towels a strange yellow green.
I was in heaven. So were you, for that matter. Remember, you just finished your day's poetry, and you would turn somersaults like some happy dolphin.
Damn dishes, where was I? Why didn't I see you do this?
I remember one night in particular, when we sensed that the phosphorus was about to blow off. We were deserted to leave us to another town, and we were chasing each other underwater. And at one point I lost you. The brilliance was so intense. And then finally your foot appeared, and your leg. Oh, I grabbed it. I remember wishing at that moment to hold it over. And we could just be fixed there, laughing and iridescent. And then I began to get panicky because I knew it would pass. It was packing already. He was cooking some more grass. Summer was almost over. I'd be going back to school and she'd going back to Boston. Even if I was reaching for you, we'd never be like that again.
Well, anyway, he's basing on this record. It's very name.
Oh, what's that? Don't tell me we forgot something.
It's your portrait. I finished it.
Really? You did? How on earth did you do that?
I stayed up all night.
I didn't hear her. Did you hear anything, God?
Not a peep. Not a peep.
Well, you know, I wanted to finish it before you left to see what you thought. It's not bad, considering that, you know, it was really late when I finished and the light was terrible. I was trying to be really quiet so I wouldn't wake you. It was hardly an ideal situation, you know. You weren't the most cooperative model. Oh, God, you're gonna hate it! Oh, you're just gonna hate it! How could I ever get myself into this? Oh, look, you don't really want to see it, you know, it's nothing. It's just a few dabs that I was awfully late when I finished it, you know, and the light was just completely impossible. God, my eyes were hurting like crazy. So, why don't we just go out and wait on the sidewalk so Kitty doesn't...
Will you just shut up for a minute?
No,
No.
I got there with my eyes closed. It was so late I could hardly see anything. And then I spilled a whole bottle of cake thinner right onto my palette. Just a quick sketch. You know, it's still wet. Oh, I didn't have enough time. It takes 40 hours to do a decent impression. No, don't. Please, don't. Just no. Come on, don't look.
Well, I think it's perfectly clever.
What have you done to my face?
I particularly like Mom.
Since when do I have purple skin?
I told you it was nothing.
She looked like $1 million.
When you look at my hair, it's bright orange.
Very clever.
It doesn't look anything like me.
Really very good.
Since when do I have purple skin and bright orange hair?
Well, listen, you know, you don't have to worry about hurting my feelings.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
And when you look at how I'm sitting, I never sat like that in my life.
That's really awful clever.
I have no feet.
The whole thing is quite remarkable.
And what, pray tell, became of my legs? They simply vanished from the knees down. At least the dress is presentable. I've always loved that dress.
It sparkles somehow.
It's very becoming, don't you think?
Very becoming. Awfully becoming.
Yes, she got the dress quite well, how it shows off what's left of my figure. I like my smile, too.
It's good and wide.
I love how the corners of my mouth turn up.
Very clever.
They're almost quivering.
Good highlights. Good lighting effect.
Actually, I look young, don't you think?
You do good work with highlights, Meg.
And you look dark.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, you look absolutely dark. Good enough.
And I
You know, something about the wispy brush strokes, it makes us look like a couple in a French Impressionist painting.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
You know, a Monet or a Renoir.
Very evocative.
Something about the light. You know, those Renoir capucines.
Well, because she doesn't lay on the paint with a trowel. It's light brush stroke here and light brush stroke.
You know the one with a couple dancing. The man has his back to you. Not that we're dancing. You know the one I mean. Not that we're dancing. There's just something similar in the mood, a kind of gaiety almost. The man has his back to you, and he's swinging the woman around. Oh, Dar, you know the one I mean. You've seen it a million times. It's hanging in the Museum of Fine Arts. They're dancing like this.
Hey, oh boy!
The woman has on a white flowered dress with ruffles at the neck, and the man is holding her like this. And the woman has the most rhapsodic expression on her face.
Oh, yes, I know the one you mean. And they're standing in sort of a haze. And isn't there a small band playing off at one side?
Yes, that's it. That's who. There's Kitty. And there's a man in a black suit playing the violin. And someone's conducting, I think. And are there Japanese lanterns strung up?
All those little lights twinkling in the trees.
And doesn't the woman have on a hat? A big red hat.
And lights all over the dancers, too. Everything shimmers with this marvelous glow. Oh, I can picture it perfectly. The whole thing is absolutely extraordinary.
This is good looking. I'd forgotten how handsome Mama's old silver was. It ought to be worth a fortune. It certainly weighs enough. Grandma's Paul Revere teaspoons. Oh, I don't care how desperate things get, these will never go. One must maintain some standards. Grandma's Paul Revere. Wasn't it the American wing of the Metropolitan Museum of Art that wanted Grandma's Paul Revere teaspoon so badly? God, this is a good-looking hat. I was awfully smart to grab it up. Don't you remember a very distinguished-looking man coming to the house and offering us $50,000? He had on the most marvelous shoes. They were so pointed at the toes we couldn't tell how he ever got them on. And I remember him saying he was from the American wing of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Hello, Gardner, you, are you there? Gardner!
Yes, dear. Is that you?
Well, of course it's me. Who else could it possibly be? Darling, please come here a minute. And will you stop that god-awful typing before you send me straight to the nut house? Gardner!
What's that? Magnet?
I said, please come here. Lord, I hate this yelling. No wonder I'm not in the
I'll be
straitjacket
with you in
already.
a moment. I didn't hear a ring.
Might be awfully nice for a change. Peaceful. Darling, I want to show you my new hat.
Oh, don't you look nice? Very attractive, very attractive.
But I'm still in my bathrobe.
Where's Mag?
Darling, you're dropping your papers all over the floor.
I remember that. Aunt Alice gave it to us, didn't she? Good Lord, it's heavy. What's it made of? Lead?
No, Aunt Alice did not give it to us. It was Mama's.
Oh, yes.
May I have it back, please?
Oh, sure thing. Where's Mags? I thought you said she was here.
I didn't say Mags was here. I asked you to come here.
Damn papers keep falling.
I wanted to show you my new hat. I bought it in honor of Mag's visit. Isn't it marvelous?
Yes, very nice.
Oh, Gardner, you're not even looking at it.
It's very becoming.
You don't think it's too bright, do you? I don't want to look like a traffic light. Guess how much it costs?
Oh, shit.
Here, let me help you.
The damn things have wings on them. It won't hold still.
Here. Oh, there you go. Now, darling. Darling,
What's that?
the hat. Guess how much it costs?
Oh, $10.
Oh, $10. Is that all?
20?
I'll have you know this is a designer hat. Designer hats start at $50, $75.
Was that the doorbell?
No, it wasn't the doorbell. Though it's high time Mags was here. She was probably in a
Find
tree.
Wallace Stevens again.
This damn
Move that angel rise slowly down the face of that young sun. That piece of the truth and bell and rise. Don't you love that? These muleteers are the kings of their race.
God. Darling. The hat.
Oh, $50, $75.
It's French.
$300.
85 cents.
85 cents? I thought you said it was
That's right. 85 cents.
Well, you certainly had me fooled.
Well, I found it at the thrift shop.
Well, I'd have thought it cost at least $50, $75. You know, designer hats are awfully expensive.
But look at that. See there, Lily Daché. When I saw that label, I nearly keeled right over into the fur coat.
Well, what do you know? That's the same label that's on my bathrobe.
Oh, Gar, Lily Daché designed hats,
Yep,
not
Lily
men's
Daché,
bathrobes.
same label.
Oh, I'm sure if you'll look
Same
again.
script, same color, same size. I'll show you.
Well, Lamb can't keep anything straight anymore. It's a good-looking hat.
See that? What does it say?
Gardner, Lily Daché was a hat designer. She designed this hat.
What does it say?
You're being ridiculous.
Read the label.
I don't care what the label says. Lily Daché did not design this bathrobe.
All right, read. Now, what does it say?
Lily Daché.
I told you so.
Here, let me see that again. Gardner, Lily Daché never designed a bathrobe in her life. Somebody obviously ripped the label out of one of her hats and thrown it in there.
Well, it's damn good looking. I've always loved this robe. I think you gave it to me. Well, I gotta get back to work.
Where did you get that robe anyway? I didn't give it to you, did I? You know, I think I did give it to her. I remember how excited I was when I found it at the thrift shop. 50 cents and never worn. I couldn't have sewn that label in to impress him, could I? The poor dear wouldn't even notice, let alone understand its cachet. Oh, this damn tray is heavy. It's even heavier than a coffee car. They got fit Amazon for the old days. On your tray, Marcus Renee Gallery. And good riddance. Oh, where is that wretched Mags? She should have been here hours ago. Well, if she doesn't show up soon, I'm just going to drop dead of exhaustion. God, wouldn't that be wonderful? Then they could just cart me off into storage with all the old china and chandeliers. Oh, that must be Meg! Oh, God, I'm still in my bathroom. Oh, there it is. It's Meg. She's here.
Hold it. I'll get it.
Here. Oh, Meg.
Coming!
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm so late. Everything went wrong. The passenger had a heart attack outside of New London, and we had to stop. It was terrifying. All these medics and policemen came swarming onto the train, and the conductor kept running up and down the aisle telling everyone not to leave their seats under any circumstances. Then the New London Fire Department came screeching down to the track, sirens blaring, lights whirling. All these men in black rubber suits came pouring through the doors. That took 2 hours.
Darling,
I couldn't get a cab at the station. You know, there just weren't any. I must have circled the block 15 times. Finally, I just stepped out into the traffic with my thumb out. No one would pick me up. I walked.
You walked all the way from
No,
South Station?
actually, I ran.
Oh, you're that poor mom scared half to death.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. It was a nightmare.
Gar, will you help me with this?
My Meg.
Oh, I never thought I'd get you. You were wonderful.
Well, you don't look so bad yourself.
Oh, I love your hair. It's gotten so white.
Oh, this is so typical. The minute Max arrives, my zipper has to break.
Hi, Mom.
Sit down and take a look.
Oh, I was so afraid I'd never make it.
What have you got in here? Let's wait.
I can't believe you are finally letting me do you.
Oh, Mags, my precious
Hey, Mommy.
darling, you're here at last. I was just sure your train had derailed and you were lying dead. And so
Oh, come on, Daddy, let me. Those are much too heavy. Come on.
Oh, my God, what have you done to your hair?
To me. Oh, my Daddy, please.
Oh, not again. Gar, would you give me a hand with this?
Monday,
1 minute
I
it's stuck and the next it's falling to pieces.
Model Tuesday, I overslept and I took my advance of PaintingC. Wednesday, the day of my meeting with Max Gold, I forgot to put on my underwear.
Damn it, Gar, did I do anything to this?
There I am, just racing down Groom Street in gauzy Tibetan skirts when I suddenly tripped and fell right at his feet. Splat! The skirt goes flying over my head, and there I am, everything, staring him right in the face.
Come on, Gar, use a little muscle.
Well, all that really matters is that I finally
I can't see it. It's so
I
small.
mean, there you
Well,
are!
forget it. Just forget it. Oh. The trolley's probably missing half its teeth. Just like somebody else I know. I grind my teeth in my sleep now. You should see I got it worn right down to the gums. Look at that.
I never hear you grind your teeth.
Well, that's because I'm snoring so loud. How could you possibly hear anything through all that racket? It even wakes me up. No wonder poor Dad has to sleep downstairs.
Jeez, look at the place. So, you're finally doing it. Selling the house and moving to Katuitt year-round. I don't believe it.
So how about a little drink to celebrate Meg's arrival?
You've been here so long. Darling, now.
Why are you wearing your bathrobe? You really ought to pay more attention to your appearance.
You love this house. I mean, I love this house. This room. Oh, God, that light.
Megs, how about a little, to wet the whistle?
We can't start drinking yet. It's not even noon.
I'm starving. I gotta get something to eat before I collapse.
Darling, what did you do to your hair? It's such a clear color, and all your nice curl is gone.
It looks to me as if she dyed it.
You know, I think you're right. You're absolutely right. It's a completely different color. She dyed it bright red. Max, I don't want you filling up on snacks now. I've made a perfectly beautiful leg of lamb for lunch. Do you hear me? No one in our family has ever had red hair. It's so common.
I like it. It brings out her eyes.
Why on earth did you dye your hair bright red?
I didn't dye my hair, I just added some highlight.
Oh, I suppose that's what all your artsy friends in New York do. They just dye their hair all colors of the rainbow.
Well, it's damned attractive, if you ask me. Damned attractive.
Oh, Max, what is all this? I told you not to bring a lot of stuff. I'm trying to get rid of things.
Isn't it a beauty? I bought it just for you.
Please don't get crackers all over the floor. Crystal was just here yesterday, and it's the last time
I
before
can
we
hardly
knew.
wait. I can't believe you are finding that I can do you.
What do you mean, you are?
Honey, could I have a couple of those?
Your portrait.
You're planning on taking our portrait now? Forward, favorable.
Here's the perfect opportunity. There'll be no distractions. You'll be completely at my mercy. Also, you promised.
I did?
I've
Yes,
forgotten how delicious
you did.
all
I must have
really
been off
are.
my rocker.
No, you said you can paint us. You can dip us in concrete. You can do anything you want with us, just as long as you help us get out of
Fanny, you
here.
really ought to try these. They're absolutely delicious.
I figured that we'll pack in the morning and you'll pose in the afternoon. It'll be a nice diversion.
These are good. They're good. How's tomorrow?
I have some wonderful news. It's amazing news. Really, you'll die. Just fall over and get a packing part and you'll die. Oh, I wanted to wait until I got here to tell you. Are you ready? Okay. Here goes. Brace yourselves. I am being given a one-woman show at one of the most important galleries in New York this fall. Me, Margaret Church, exhibited at 420 West Broadway. Guys, can you believe it? I mean, my portrait's hanging in the same room with Rauschenberg, Warhol, John Kelly, Lichtenstein, Stella, all the bees. It's incredible, you know, it's beyond belief. I mean, at my age, do you know how good you have to be to get in there? The miracle. An honest-to-God, star-spangled miracle.
Well, no one deserves this work, really. No one deserves this work.
But through some fluke, some of Castelli's people showed up at our Latin faculty show at Pratt, and they were knocked out. Oh, they said they hadn't seen anyone handle color like me since the French Impressionists, and they said that I was this weird blend of Pierre Bonnard and Mary Cassatt. They didn't hire me.
I told you they were good.
Although no one's doing portraits these days, you know, they're considered passe, so I'm so out of it, I'm in.
Well, you're loaded with talent, and always have been.
Well, she gets it all from Mama, you know. Her miniature of Henry James is still one of the major attractions at the Athenaeum. Of course, no woman of breeding could have been a professional artist in her day. It simply wasn't done. But you talk about talent. She was loaded with talent.
I want to do one of them for the show.
Well, I think you should just do Daddy. He's the famous one.
No, I want to do you both.
What?
I've always wanted to do you both. No, now I finally got to get it to do.
Looks about time somebody painted Daddy again. I'm sick to death of that dreadful painting of him at the National Museum they keep reproducing. He looks like an